In this series of videos, I'm going to introduce you to physics inside GameSalad. But before we start learning about physics, let's bring in a few simple pieces of artwork that we can work with. So I'm just going to go up to my Media tab and click the plus sign to import some artwork. And we'll just import a few images from this physics folder. And then we can drag and drop each one of these images into our Actor tab, so we can turn these into individual actors. Make sure that when you do, you drop it in an empty space or on top of the all tag. That way you don't replace an actor's image. And we want to go ahead and name these, just so we can easily identify them later. So we'll just call this one ball, we'll call this one blob, this one block, and this one ground. So the very first thing that I'm going to introduce you to is how to get one actor to actually collide with another actor. Because if we were to put two different actors in the stage, like for instance, if I were to take my ground actor and put it inside the stage, and then the block actor, and we're to get one to move towards the other, they would just essentially pass through each other. So let's just demonstrate that right now. I'm going to go ahead and select the block actor, and I'm going to open up the backstage. And I'm going to add a very simple set of programming in here by typing in the word move, and I'll select that from the list. And by default, the move behavior already has my actor moving to the right. We know that because we can see here in this dial, it's pointing to the right. So let's go ahead and preview that and see how that looks. So we can see our actor moves and passes right through our other actor. But we want these two actors to collide with each other. So to do this, all I'm going to do is add in another behavior here inside our block actor. And I'm just going to start typing in the word collide. I'll select that from the list. And what I want to do is choose which actor I want my block actor to actually collide with. And this is why we always take the time to name our actors, things that we can identify later. So if I open up this pull down, you can see we have that ground actor in this list instead of actor 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll just simply select the ground actor. And let's preview this and see what happens. So we have one actor colliding with another actor, which is a good segue to introducing you to the very next thing that we need to know when we have actors colliding with each other, which is making actors non-movable. So we want this block to collide with the ground, but we don't want the ground to move in space. So we're going to go ahead and select our ground actor here in our actor bin. And then I want to go down to this actors tab here, so we can take a look at the physics pull down. So you'll see right down here, if we slide down underneath the actor's image, we have this physics pull down that we can go ahead and open up. And we're going to talk about all these different values right now, but for the moment, all I want to talk about is this movable checkbox. By default, all actors are movable inside GameSalad, but we obviously don't want the ground to be movable, so we'll just uncheck that for now. So now let's see what happens. We can see that our block comes in contact with the ground, and the ground no longer moves. Now, if you're distracted by my block kind of freaking out over here to the left, in the next video, we're actually going to talk about an attribute called bounciness. But before you move on to that video, I suggest that you experiment with creating a few different actors, making some of them movable and some of them not movable, and seeing what you come up with. And then again, in the next video, we'll figure out what to do with this bounciness so our block isn't quite freaking out anymore.